NCRT Exemplar 11 Biology, Breathing and Exchange of Gases. Let's start. Respiration in insects is called direct because the tissues exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide directly with the air and tubes. The tissues exchange oxygen, carbon dioxide directly with the coelomic fluid. The tissues exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide directly with the air outside through the body surface. The fourth option, tracheal tube exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide directly with the haemocoel, which then exchange with the tissue. So answer is the tracheal system. The tracheal tube exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide directly with the haemocoel, which then exchange with the tissues. Next question. Regarding the functions of our respiratory system, mark the wrong entry that humidifies air, warms up the air, diffusion of gases, cleans up the air. Seems to be all are answers, but in exemplar it's given that warms up the air is the answer given here regarding the functions of our respiratory system. That warms up the air is given as an answer. A person suffers punctures in his chest cavity in an accident without any damage to the lungs. Its effect could be reduced breathing rate, rapid increase in breathing rate, no change in respiration, cessation of breathing. Actually, almost here you will find multiple answers here, but the final result of the person is going to be the cessation, stopping of breathing. That exemplar problems, the answer they are selected is cessation of breathing. We are following. It is known that exposure to carbon monoxide is harmful to animals because it reduces carbon dioxide transport, it reduces oxygen transport, it increases carbon dioxide transport, it destroys hemoglobin. Here, the fact we should know that carbon dioxide efficiency with the hemoglobin than oxygen is very much greater. That means when you see carbon monoxide and oxygen at one place, hemoglobin will have more efficiency. Hemoglobin will prefer carbon monoxide. So, in that, when carbon monoxide increases, that definitely affects the oxygen transport. It reduces oxygen transport. Moving on, mark the true statement among the following with reference to normal breathing. Inspiration is a passive process where expiration is active. Inspiration is an active process whereas expiration is passive. Inspiration and expiration are active processes. Inspiration and expiration are passive processes. As we know that external intercostal muscle and the muscles of diaphragm, we call them as phrenic muscles. These muscles contraction helpful for the inspiration. Contraction of these muscles means we can say inspiration is an active process whereas expiration is the passive process. Inspiration is done by the contraction of muscles, hence we call active process, it requires energy, whereas expiration by the relaxation of external intercostal muscle and phrenic muscle. Now, moving on. A person breathes in some volume of air by forced inspiration after having forced expiration. This quantity of air is taken in is. This quantity of air taken in is total lung capacity, tidal volume, vital capacity, inspiratory capacity. Here, that along with the inspiration, that after having forced expiration, they said like so. So that means it is Vc equal to Tv plus IRV plus ERV. So in that way that we can choose the answer vital capacity. Vital capacity is the answer. Mark the incorrect statement in context to oxygen binding to hemoglobin. Mark the incorrect statement in context to oxygen binding to hemoglobin. So, oxygen binding with hemoglobin influenced by So efficient binding required, lower temperature, as we know, it's given. Lower carbon dioxide, yes, that is also one of the reason. Higher oxygen is a default issue here, higher oxygen. So then higher pH also influences binding of oxygen with hemoglobin. More oxygen binding with hemoglobin seems to be all four factors. So that all are the answers we can say. At least if you see this, if it might be a printing mistake. Capital P is given. Partial pressure generally will show in the form of small p. Might be in that aspect you may select 4, or we can say that if you correct here incorrect statement in context to oxygen, all seems to be correct. Higher pH, they are given option as higher pH, in maybe their meaning is higher H plus ions, might be. So whatever, we are not putting any answer here. Higher pH, lower temperature, lower carbon dioxide, higher PO2, all are the uh, factors favorable for the binding of oxygen with hemoglobin. Mark the correct pair of muscles involved in the normal breathing in human. Mark the correct pair of muscle involved in the normal breathing in human. The external and intercostal muscles, external and internal intercostal muscle, diaphragm and abdominal muscle, diaphragm and external intercostal muscle, diaphragm and internal intercostal muscle. So, diaphragm and external intercostal muscle is going to be the answer for this. The muscles of diaphragm we call phrenic muscle or radial muscle, along with external intercostal muscle that we call normal inspiration and expiration possible. In case that internal intercostal muscle and abdominal muscle are helpful for forcible expiration, not in the general inspiration and expiration process which they participate. Moving on. Incidence of emphysema, a respiratory disorder, is high in cigarette smokers. In such cases, in emphysema case, whether the bronchioles are found damaged, alveolar walls are found damaged, plasma membrane found damaged, respiratory muscles are found damaged. In case of emphysema, the alveolar walls are found to be damaged. The effect is going to be to the alveoli of lungs. Question number 10, respiratory process is regulated by certain specialized centers in the brain. One of the following listed centers can reduce the inspiratory duration upon stimulation. Medullary inspiratory center, pneumotaxic center, apneustic center, chemosensitive area. Okay, so here it is given certain specialized center which regulated by certain specialized center which they said instead reducing the inspiratory duration reduced by pneumotaxic center. We can say our answer is pneumotoxic center. Okay, moving on. Carbon dioxide dissociate from carbaminohemoglobin when? Carbon dioxide dissociate from carbaminohemoglobin. So hemoglobin and carbon dioxide dissociation is going to be possible at lungs. So at lungs, what kind of atmosphere we need to expect to break the hemoglobin and carbon dioxide? PCO2 high, PO2 is low, PO2 is high and PCO2 is low. PCO2, PO2 are equal, none of the above. In case lungs, carbon dioxide is low and oxygen is high. So our answer is PO2 is high and PCO2 is low. In breathing movements, air volume can be estimated by stethoscope, hygrometer, sphygmomanometer, spirometer. Air volume can be estimated by spirometer. Identify the correct and incorrect match about respiratory volume and capacities. Let us see one after another. The first is given inspiratory capacity IC. IC is given as TV plus IRV. IC is given as TV plus IRV. inspiration capacity is TB plus the inspiratory capacity is generally TB plus IRB. So, what is given here? Inspiratory capacity TB and residual volume. So, this is incorrect. Okay, so the first one is incorrect. Now, let us go to the second one. VC, we should know first of all what is VC. VC equal to, let me erase this first. VC, what is VC? VC equal to TV plus IRV plus ERV. VC means TV plus IRV plus ERV. Let us see what is given. VC equal to TV, IRV and ERV. Yes, this is correct. Okay. So, moving on. I am taking eraser here. Okay. Now, what is the third one? Residual volume. Residual volume equal to VC minus IRV. VC, what is VC? VC equal to TV plus IRV plus ERV. VC equal to TV plus IRV plus ERV. As we already seen here, VC equal to TV plus IRV plus ERV. So, it seems to be incorrect here. VC minus IRV is incorrect. Tidal volume equal to inspiratory capacity minus inspiratory reserve value. Yeah, this is correct. So, what is our answer? The first one is incorrect, second one is correct, third one is incorrect and fourth one is correct. So, this is the answer. So, that is it. Moving on to the next question. Okay. Oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve will show a right shift in case of right shift means here we can say dissociation of oxygen with hemoglobin. Curve shift to the right means oxygen hemoglobin is going to be dissociating. So, okay, dissociating factors will be, yes, high PCO2 is correct, no high PO2 is wrong, low PCO2 wrong and less hydrogen ion concentration wrong. High hydrogen ion concentration, high PCO2, high temperature and more H plus ions. These are all the factors which make the curve shift to the right or you may call it as dissociation. So, now the math the following. Earthworm respiratory organ is going to be moist cuticle. The arthropods are having trachea. Trachea is a respiratory organ. Fishes, gills, birds and reptiles, lungs. So, in that way we have to go with the option. A is given earthworm, moist cuticle. Let us search A1 where it is given, second, third, fourth. Arthropod, trachea, B4. A1, B4 we found, we got this one. C2, gills and D3, birds and reptiles, lungs. So, this is our option. Now, moving on. So, that is it. These are the exemplar problems, breathing in exchange of gases, that all the remaining chapters are also available. The go in search in the form of icon exemplar. Thank you.